What if you could hear your Facebook feed? What if you don't have to worry when you tweet that people don't know you're being sarcastic? Yair Yona, the marketing manager at new social network HearMeOut, is going to tell us how we can fulfill that dream. And let me tell you, Yair, it's my dream because I'm always sarcastic and I'm always worried that people can't read sarcasm.
Well, hi.
Hi.
Thank you. Thanks for having me in your show, first of all.
You're welcome. How does HearMeOut work? What are you offering me?
Well, basically, it's a social network that is based on the human voice, where you can upload your audio statuses in a length of maximum 42 seconds.
42 seconds? Is that how long 140 characters take to read?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like, the perfect equivalent to Twitter or an Instagram. It's just like, it makes sense to explain it as an audio Twitter or an audio Instagram. But basically, according to the test that we had on the group of people that we tested the app initially, the maximum tolerance that people had was between 40 to 45 seconds of listening to audio posts. So we decided that 42 will be an interesting place in the middle, and it's a very nice number. You have to agree with me. It sounds better than 41, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And how does it work? Is it a separate network?
Yeah. So basically, it's like the behavior that you already know from other social networks. You follow me, and I'll follow you. And I'll have a feed of all the people, brands, or private people that I'm actually following. And each of them, when each of them publishes a new post, you have like a tiny player. You can click play and see and listen. Actually, listen to the post. They have like a description line. That's where they tell us what the post is all about, so you'd know if to click play or not. Of course, you can add hashtags and mention other users, just like the behavior that you already know from other social networks. So that's the first use. But the other usage is the drive mode, and the drive mode is where it actually gets even more interesting. Instead of actively clicking play in all the posts that you see in your feed, you have an automatic drive mode feed, which means that the feed will play automatically, and you'll have the ability to select which categories you want to listen to. It's important for me to say that when you upload a post, you can, except for writing the description, you also select one of the 12 categories, which means that if for me, for example, each morning I'm uploading a post of morning musical recommendation. So the category will be obviously music, and music has its own color in the feed. So your feed looks like many posts with only 12 colors max. So you can easily pick with your eyes which post you want to stop on, because let's say you're not interested in news, and news is the color red, then you're going to skip it. You're going to skip all the red colors in your feed. So that's it basically.
Am I going to have to still look at my phone screen to find out what's going on in my HearMeOut feed, like I do with Facebook, or am I going to hear my HearMeOut feed?
Well, if you'd be interested in selective listening, whereas where you can browse through the feed and select which post to listen, then you'll have to engage with your phone. However, if you go on, you'd be driving or running in the street or cooking or anything else that you don't want to have the phone. You don't have to engage with your phone. You can select the drive mode, and then it will be automatically played. And in the drive mode, in the future, you'll be able to select which categories you want to listen to, or actually which categories you want the drive mode to play you. For example, if you're not in the mood for news or humor, for example, unselect news or humor, and you won't listen to these posts. So that works automatically.
And how does that integrate with any other apps I have going on? For instance, if I put it in drive mode and go for a run, I'm going to assume that I don't have an hour's worth of posts from my friends on HearMeOut. Does it interrupt what I'm listening to? Does it not interrupt what I'm listening to?
No, if you click the drive mode, it will play the feed until the feed adds, actually. So if say you have like 200 people that you're following, each of them posts a new post today, and you're going to listen only to the 200 that's been posted today, you have like 200 times 42 seconds, which I'm really bad at math, so I can't do the math. So
200 times 42 seconds is officially, professionally, a very long time.
Yeah. So eventually, you have enough stuff to listen to if you'd be interested. And in the next version, you'll be able to skip between the posts using the headphones button. So you're not limited to listen to stuff that you don't want to listen to. It's not like you're going to be stuck on if let's say a friend has posted something and it appears in the feed and it's not really interesting for you at that specific time, you can always skip it. So you have maximum control of your feed.
And these posts are sound bites created by the users, so they reflect the user's intonation?
Right, exactly. I mean, the whole idea behind it is that instead of just writing text, like you said, you're sarcastic, but you still have to rely on icons and exclamation marks and smiling faces or sad faces to make the point, or to get the nuances or the mood passed through the text. Same with the static pictures, like still pictures. With HearMeOut, you can hear exactly what the person is all about. I mean, you can hear the entire personality behind the content, actually. So if I'm talking about music, being a music fanatic like myself, if I'm talking about music, you're going to hear that I'm so inspired and so excited to talk about the things that I care about the most, and that will actually make much more impact than just reading it on my Facebook wall. Hey, you got to listen to this album and check out this band. It's a completely different experience. If you're going to listen to a sports fan who's disappointed after his favorite team lost the game, or et cetera, it's going to be a whole different experience for you as a listener to consume that content. So it makes much better sense, because the human voice is the most basic thing to
But wouldn't it just be quicker for me to read a post like this, or is the 42 seconds really very, very short in most people's minds?
Well, 42 seconds is very, very short, or it can be very, very long. It depends on the speaker, and you don't have to speak for the entire 42 seconds.
Do you expect to see people move onto the HearMeOut network away from existing social networks?
I think it's another social network, and it's another experience. We're still very, very new, and we're very modest. So I don't want to say that people will leave Twitter and leave Facebook for HearMeOut. I think there's enough room for all social networks to exist simultaneously. I mean, the fact that Instagram appeared and became very popular, it didn't take anything from Twitter or Facebook. Pinterest appears.
Will there be ads in it?
Well, not in the near future, but of course we have to consider some sort of revenue model. But it'll take. But I guess it'll take at least a year and a half.
How many users do you have right now?
Well, we have a couple of thousands actually, and it's very exciting because the app really exploded when we just launched. We had a very nice coverage in Channel 10 News, and in the
How long has
show,
the app been live?
Since March, 10th of March, 9th of March.
And are all your users here in Israel, or are they across other countries as well?
No, we were surprised to find users from Saudi Arabia, for example, and we have a nice following in Turkey, where they blocked the YouTube.
Twitter was
service,
banned for a few weeks.
Yeah, Twitter and YouTube were banned. So yeah, I think it's only natural that people start to look for new social networks, and we have nice following in Turkey, which is very surprising, and it's it warms the heart in a way. No, seriously, I mean, sarcasm aside for a second. I mean, it's really great. I mean, think about it. You have users from Saudi Arabia, which is a country Israel never have any connection with, but when it comes to technology and it comes to make the world better and smaller and make everything one big community, I mean, everything goes. I'm being very optimistic here, I know.
Are all the posts in English?
No, it depends on you. Now
It's a sound because it's a sound bite. It can pick up anything in any language.
Exactly. Some people upload the tweets of birds in the streets. Some people
really?
Some people are putting the iPhone next to their children when they speak children mumble or speak or say funny stuff, and people upload it.
I see.
You have newspapers or TV channels that record their headlines. Like you have the website Geek Time, for example. Each morning they upload the two most important headlines of the day, which is great because it filters a lot of content out. They post the links to the articles in their comments and in HearMeOut, and and they direct me to the important stories that they want to direct me to. So
thank you, Yair Yona. Thank you for joining us on TLV1.
Thank you. Thank you very much.